That's an eternity of basketball ahead of us. Another beautiful steal perpetrated by Todd White. The action continues. A let's go situation here. Alexei Deacon going up against a double team. Jeffrey Moore has perfect access to the bucket. What you saw from that normal replay of that last bit of action was Juan Fernandez actually wanting to dish off the against Master Jaworski. We're crossing the twilight zone. That's an eternity of basketball ahead of us.
At San Miguel, we believe in the Filipinos' potential to rise to our greatest challenges and support our collective aspirations for a better world. Malasakit is part of everything we do. We uplift the lives of generations of Filipinos. We are building a better world. Today, our efforts are focused on building a more resilient and globally competitive Philippines. For us, this means a nation with the necessary infrastructure to thrive in the global economy. A nation that enjoys energy security and food security. One that can attract the kind of investment that will create support projects that will generate economic vitality. A nation where prosperity is widely shared. We focus on industries on which the country's future depends, and we work to balance economic development with sustainability. This means protecting our natural resources and creating strong, cohesive communities where every Filipino has equal access to a better future. This means forging ahead with projects that will transform the Philippine economy and, more importantly, our communities.
I believe that San Miguel has the capability and heart to do it. The lesson we learned from the past offers so much potential for the present. They shape our sense of what's possible.
At San Miguel, our ambition comes from the hope of leaving a world that will be better for our children than the one we found. San Miguel Corporation, your world made better.
Welcome to an eternity of basketball. We're going to start episode 236, but we remind you first, we're part of the Globally Ballin Network. GloballyBallin.com is the website to check out original articles, audio and video projects, and all the shows on the network. One of the shows is Who the Heck Are We? And you catch episode 138, the boys of Who the Heck Are We are going to talk about the UAAP Sports Recap on Monday, November 18 at 8 p.m. So catch that. Our most trending episodes on YouTube, Bogs Adornado is still at number 1. Ricky Cui at number 2. Quickly, just a week into after that show. Freddy Ubaldes at number 10. So keep watching which one's your favorite on the Globally Ballin YouTube channel. We are also live on the Twitter X page of Globally Ballin. So we're streaming there right now. And Linktree/Globally Ballin for easy access to all of that. All right, we're here. I'm Charlie Cuna together with Sid Ventura. We're the dynamic duo for today's well-rounded 236th episode of AEOB. And we're excited today. Nice mug, Sid. Because it's a different type of show we're having today. It's been a long time mula na nag-usapan tayo, di ba, Sid? May usapang referee, usapang sports writer, usapang barker. Ngayon, may usapang courtside reporter naman tayo, mga mukha na makikita ng ating mga fans na medyo matagal na siguro nilang hindi nakikita yung iba dyan, no? And they're gonna reminisce about their days at the courtside, talking to the players and the coaches and their experiences, no? We'll bring them in one by one. Isa-isahin ko, no, partner? Unahin ko na. The first one is a long-time media broadcasting practitioner. She's worked for all the government stations, PTV, RPN, IBC, and now she's still there doing work for the Senate. She was the first lady courtside reporter, as far as we know, So she's a pioneer in that field. We'll bring her in. Cathy de Leon Villar. We'll bring her in. Bring in Cathy.
Hi
Cathy,
there.
good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
good morning.
to the
I'm
show.
glad to be.
Well,
thank you. It's a
yeah,
privilege.
we're so glad you're here. Okay, the next one. Nag-abot sila ni Cathy ng isang taon yata, and courtside, and they overlap for a bit. She worked for about 3 years with the PBA, and she also wrote a column for the Manila Standard at one point, and it's really interesting because she's doing something very interesting nowadays. We'll talk about it later. May photo pa tayo about that. She's also a diplomat and an interior designer. We'll bring her in. Si Mylene Quinto Leasing. Mylene?
Hi, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hi, Charlie. Hi,
Mylene.
Sid. Cathy, good to see you after so long.
So, and then when Mylene was working, someone else joined the team. She grew up in Canada, came to the Philippines and found herself doing some sports work for the SEA Games, covering volleyball, and then she became a newscaster. And then eventually she ended up with Vintage as one of the reporters and a segment host, a pre-game show host, the hot stuff. And then now she's based in Vancouver, and she plays competitive pickleball, really fitness person ito. So we'll talk about that later as well. We'll bring her in. Ronith Ang Cogswell, right? Cogswell, Ronith.
That's right. Hi, everybody. I won't say good morning. It's good evening here. So
yeah, it's good evening over there. So thanks for coming in. And
thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for fixing your schedule to accommodate us. I know it's the birthday of your daughter. Happy birthday to her. All right. Okay, and the last one. Ito medyo familiar siguro sa mga current PBA fans because the last name, diba? Because yung asawa niya is still a coach in the PBA for Meralco. But you know her as well in her own right, a famous broadcast and media personality for many, many years, but also dabbled in courtside reporting way back in 98 in the PBA and in the NBA as well, and in UAAP. So lahat, yung malalaking liga, napuntahan nito, naging courtside siya. Pati yung anak niya, naging courtside din recently for Arneo. So we bring her in, you know her, Ria Tanjuatco Trillo. We put her in. Ria, welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, so iba-ibang panahon, medyo nag-overlap, yung iba hindi na nag-abot, yung iba nagkakilala lang ngayon sa aming show, but no, so let's dive right into all of this, no? And I guess I'll go to Cathy first kasi siya yung nauna talaga. How did you join the PBA? What happened?
Well, I was spotted doing the hourly news breaks for PTV4 at that time. And I think based on the story I got, the voice of the PBA, Joe Cantada, Dr. J, Andy Howe, and the big boss of Vintage Enterprises, Bobong Vera, saw me doing the news breaks because the news breaks hourly, on the hour, every hour would be coming out every so often in the PBA coverage. So when they saw me, they said, we want her here. And then the general manager of PTV at the time, Dodi Limcauco, articulated the offer to me. And I said, no. I am not the perfect person for that because I don't know sports. Though I enjoy watching basketball, but I don't know the mechanics of the game and the jargon especially. So no. But they prevailed over me, and then the rest is history. I came to join the PBA. I started with the PBL though. PBL coverage, yes.
So nag-PBL ka muna, no? And then we do have some photos about that later. May mga picture tayo, kasama mo si Bill Velasco and all of that. But so you nasabak ka sa PBA and you were forced to learn the jargon, as you said, and meet the players and all of that. So we'll go into that later on. But after a year or so working with the PBA, Mylene came in. And now let's go to Mylene now. And Mylene, how did you get on the camera naman as a courtside?
I started out in UAAP, so I was always the second. I was the second girl in UAAP, and then in Vintage, in PBA, I was the second girl also. But I entered Vintage as a production assistant. So as a gopher, tagahawak ng mic, tagahawak ng lights, taga-interview pero not on cam. And then Cathy then had just gotten married, right, Cathy, around that time, and then she was pregnant. So she was getting morning sickness. So there were times that she would not make it to the games. And then, nasabak na lang ako sa games. Ganon. Then Chino Trinidad and I ended up doing the, what do you call that? Like the year-ender special before we moved to Astrodome. And then when we moved to Astrodome, that's when sila Ronith came in. Ronith, of course, she became like the senior, kumbaga, among all of us. She was articulate. She was an athlete. Yeah. So I kept my job behind camera pa rin. I was doing production work and all of that. So yeah, then I stayed on, and my jobs overlapped eventually. I worked in the Senate too for two senators. No, actually at that time only Senator Angara. Yeah, and then eventually '93, I left PBA.
Were you a basketball fan when you entered? I mean, unlike Cathy, who was it? Were you? Or did you know the game?
I wanted to learn basketball in college. I actually did the tryouts in Arneo, as you said, in Ateneo. And then the girl that was trying out with me was Peachy. What's her name? Peachy. The one that became the star player. So I was watching her. I'm like, no shit. Okay, I guess not.
Hindi kaya. Hindi kinaya. Okay. Then you mentioned that
really... na lang ako ng taekwondo team.
Oh, okay. Nagtaekwondo ka ba? Nagtaekwondo ka ba?
Hindi. Nag-manager ka.
Manager lang. Okay. Then you mentioned that Ronith came in. So Ronith, you came from Vancouver, from Canada. You come in, and you find yourself doing SEA Games and all of that. And then, so how did the PBA call you?
So I guess basically after the SEA Games, PTV4 then actually offered me kind of the similar job that Cathy was doing, as I just found out. So news breaks. I was doing the minute news breaks, and they were coming out on the basketball games. And then Ronith Ang called me when we were on the station, and he said, would you be interested in doing basketball? I'm like, same as Cathy. I'm like, you know what? I don't really play basketball. I mean, I did it in high school, but my game really was at that time volleyball and probably tennis. And then he said, no, just give it a go. And then that was, I think, the time when they were hiring a lot of other hosts. Mm-hmm. So there was like Spanky and Anna Amiga and Tina. Like there was a whole bunch of us. Mm-hmm. And they said, let's just do it so that Chino and you can be partners. So it was kind of weird because Chino would speak Tagalog the entire time, and then I would speak English the entire time. But we knew exactly what the other one was talking about. It didn't matter. So it was a lot of fun, and I loved the experience. I had zero background in media, other than the few games that I did of the Southeast Asian Games, and I became part of the Vintage family, and I did another SEA Games in 1993. And then, as mentioned, I ended up doing a sort of like a magazine show, I suppose. It was like an hour long. It was called Hot Stuff. And Chino and I hosted that together. And I stayed on until I was too fat because I was pregnant and couldn't get into my Levi's jeans. And they were our sponsors. So that was it for me.
Yeah, then you went back to Canada now, and then started.
I did eventually, and never actually. I just stayed here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And now you're here to tell your story. Okay, and then we'll go to the baby of the bunch, si Ria. Ria, you started out UAAP, diba? As a
yes,
courtside.
That's right.
Then the progression into the pros. Were there auditions at the time for UAAP? Is it the same as it is now?
Well, I was invited to audition because Jho Jho was the courtside reporter at the time, and we knew each other socially, and I had just finished school, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I told my parents that I'm going to live off of them for 6 months and then figure out my life." And he said, "Okay, while you're figuring out your life, would you like to be a courtside reporter?" And I had absolutely no intention at the time of any kind of TV work, right? And so he said, "Look, why don't you just audition?" He's like, "I know that you speak basketball," because at that point I had been dating my husband for about my now husband about 4 years. And if you know the Trillos, they speak a very specific dialect called basketball. And if you're around them enough, you'll really pick it up. Right. So, I never played the game, was never really into it until I met Luigi, and being exposed to him and his family, I really started to understand it. So Jude said, "Look, why don't you just audition and we'll see what happens?" So I auditioned, and then they were like, "Okay, you're on, let's go." And that was it. After that UAAP season wrapped up, they asked me to do PBL. And then after that, I think Vintage took notice, and then they asked me if I wanted to do PBA. And I did that for about a year. And then ABS called and said, would you like to do the MBA? So that was a bit tricky for me because, like PBA was, the more prestigious league, but ABS was the bigger media outfit. So in terms of my career, I figured, there would be more opportunities there. So I did. I went to MBA and then ended up working for different things in ABS for about the next 16 years.
Right. Tagal na. Like I said, matagal na. Veterana na in that regard. Sid, come on. I know you have a bunch of questions to ask the ladies.
No, yeah, I have a question for maybe Cathy and Mylene, since you're the two who came first. Because nowadays, you have female courtside reporters in the PBA, and even the UAAP, that's as part for the course. But both of you were starting out, and who did you look up to back then? Because, especially you, Cathy, you were like the groundbreaker, right, in terms of female courtside reporters. And how did you, adjust to the new environment? It's male-dominated talaga PBA, especially in the 80s, right?
Yes, exactly. You said the magic word. It's a male-dominated profession. But I really relied heavily on the people that I was working with. There was, my mentor really was Dr. J, Andy Howe, because he really introduced me into the sport. And he would patiently teach me the jargon, the terms that I needed to learn. And then this is a well-kept secret, that when I did the PBA, I didn't know much about the sport. And so I would be fed. I would be fed on what to say just before I go on board. Would you believe that? Yes, it's a well-kept secret. Although when it comes to interviewing, I was very good at that. I would do it in the news. But during halftime, when I have to tell the people exactly the play that happened and what is happening based on the live pictures that are being shown on TV, that's not something I'm acquainted with. So I would rely on the people I was working with. There was Bill Velasco, Ed Pixon, Butch Maniego. They would tell me, this is what happened and this is how you say it. And so that's exactly what I did. I survived years of my being with Vintage Enterprises doing just that until the time came when I understood the game. And I had to really study the sport in order to be able to articulate myself well about the game. So that's it. So my thanks to everyone. Seb Sarmenta, of course, I can't forget him. Kasi yan talaga palagi nasa tabi ko yan. So he would tell me this. But, I just like to tell you about one instance when someone told me, this is what you say. And when I went on board, I somehow kind of jumbled the ideas. And I forgot, really. I had a mental block or something. So I just blabbered away and I delivered my lines. And then when I finished my segment, they all came to me and said, Cathy, what were you saying? I don't know anything about what you were saying. But the thing is, you said it with a straight face and with so much conviction that we bought it. And I'm sure the crowd, the viewers, believed in what you said. So
it made sense. It made sense.
It made sense, yeah.
And that's happened to all of us, I guess, at one time or another. Sige, Sid, tuloy mo na. Oh.
Mylene? The question was also addressed to Mylene because, as she said, she was number 2, in terms of
I have no idea how I survived. Cathy was kind of up there in the booth, and then I would be working below with the other production people. And then when I finally ended up having to do TV, getting on camera, it was baptism of fire. Like, I had no idea. I don't think if this happened today, there was no way I would have survived. There's no way they would have kept me there. I mean, even the standards of the people on TV today, no freaking way. And then there were no cell phones pa then, no? So whenever there was something that I couldn't understand, I'd run to the landline and then call my boyfriend and say, what do I say? What do I say to this guy? So it was like that. And then just like my boyfriend's he's my husband now. Is athlete, is also an athlete. So I'd call him and they know basketball. He knew basketball very well. So, I didn't even know who the people were. I didn't know I was talking to. Who's this? Oh, Samboy Lim. Okay, why is he important again? Things like that, really stupid thing. I had no idea what I had gotten myself into. I was a communication arts graduate. I wanted to get into broadcast journalism. Seb Sarmenta was my teacher in Ateneo. So I really wanted to do the news. I wanted to be a journalist, not necessarily in the studio, but to be a broadcast journalist. But the opportunity that showed up at that time for broadcasting was sports broadcasting. So I took it, and it was meant to be a temporary thing. Until eventually, the irony of it was I was asked to audition for Channel 5 when they were opening, and then I got accepted. Then they said, you have to give up PBA. And then I said, can I not? And they said, nope. So I said, okay, I keep PBA. So I kept PBA. It was so much fun then. But looking back now, I'm like, wow, I really don't know how I survived.
Yeah.
The Sev were there. Chino was there. Chino, may he rest in peace. Oh my God. We became better friends after PBA because of his wife, Babs. So we would be on camp together, like Ronith. It was alternating Chino or Spanky. And Chino was so knowledgeable about basketball, and he'd be so like mataray with me because I didn't know anything. I'm like, oh my God, so scary, this guy. I thought he was so much older than me then because he knew a lot. So
he grew up around the sport, because his dad.
His dad was a sports journalist and all, and then there was Bill Velasco and Sev, of course, and Ronnie Nathaniels. I was telling you the other day, Charlie, when we were testing, diba? There was one time we all saw each other in ABS-CBN because at that time I was a practicing set designer. And then Ronnie was doing the Pacquiao fight. And then the other people who were in vintage production then were already working for ABS-CBN. And then I said, Ronnie, when was the peak of the PBA? And he said it was when we were all there, because some of the greats were still there then, like the Mon Fernandezes, and Jho was still there, Alvins were there. So apparently the time that we were there, was the peak of the PBA. According to Ronnie, these are not my words. So if anyone disagrees, you gotta disagree with Ronnie Nathaniel. Sami.
Well, he's no longer with us, so we cannot counter what he said already. So,
I remember one time I said, but to Ronnie, but I had no idea who these people were. Even the Ronnie Nathaniel says, I mean, you know how they were big personalities in basketball and all. And I said to him, bye Bombay. And then I got a schooling on how he's a descendant of the great Aryan race and all of that. So I'm clueless.
He was very particular about that because he's actually from Sri Lanka. He's not from India. He doesn't like being called Indian. He didn't like being called Indian.
Yeah, the rattling run. No, so we're reminiscing, guys. So we have to enter our first segment already in this show. It's called the time capsule. Since we're talking about the past. The time capsule. So Sid prepared some photos. You shared your photos with us, and so we chose some of them. Let's enter. Let's look at the first one right away. Carly, yan. This is Cathy. The early days, okay. And tingnan nyo naman yung mga photo, no. I'm sure you'll appreciate. You mentioned Seb Sarmenta, Ed Tixon on the left, Butch Maniego, and there's Cathy nakikiusyoso sa kanila.
It's Commissioner Willie Marshall behind.
And Willie Marshall is behind. He's now the commissioner. On the right side, Bill Velasco, Blonde the Blonde. And Dickie Bachman, the former PSC chairman. Look at him, batang-bata pa. Machong-macho pa nung panahon na yon. Diba?
Lahat kami yan, batang-bata pa. Lahat kami yan, batang-bata pa.
That's right. And look at that, even the microphone, iba yung style ng microphone. Diba? Silver yung microphone. Tapos and then Vintage had these uniforms that you guys had to wear. Minsan outrageous colors.
Exactly. Every time,
bright red thing.
Every time we come on board, days before, they would tell us what color to wear so that we will always be neutral. We have to be non-partisan when it comes to the teams. So yeah, that was really fun. There was so much discipline. I don't know, but I felt the discipline when I was with Vintage. I remember the motto there was, you cannot just be your best, you have to be better than your best. I remember that. We lived by that.
Hey, no one told me that. I could have tried.
Yeah.
It came naturally to you, Mylene.
Butch Baniego, one of the best analysts, says one of our fancy Bobot. No? So, of course, Butch is not with us. Ed is no longer with us as well. So,
Wait,
some of them
Ed's
have
gone?
gone. Yeah, he passed away about last year.
Last year.
No, I didn't know that.
So, wala na rin siya. Ronith Ang, as you mentioned. I need to ask this. I think it's one of the first questions that popped into my mind when I knew you guys were going to be the guests. So male-dominated nga was mentioned already earlier, and all this testosterone surrounding you guys. And I don't know who would like to answer this right away. I'm pretty sure some of the guys gave you hard times, or some of them tried to hit on you, made pakyut to you guys. Anyone with a story? Maybe Ronith? Is there a player who tried to court you or something, take you out?
Oh my God! Now you're making me walk down memory lane.
That's what we do. That's what we do on the show.
You know what was fun was because of oh my God, what was the disco called? See, even me calling it disco.
Faces.
Okay, so we used to hang out. Yeah, so that's where we used to hang out, and it was a lot of just a lot of socializing with each other. And I think I did go out with a couple. I mean, the one that sticks out is Alex Araneta, Alaska.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we went out for a little bit, and of course, I was like way older than him, so that did not work out. And then I was good friends with Eric Reyes. Was he Pure Foods? Yeah.
Swift.
He was Swift.
With the other hot dog, yeah.
Okay. So see, I'm like, okay, I don't remember, but yeah. And I think in terms of being in a male-dominated industry, I felt that we were welcomed. I didn't feel it. And I think that just, knowing that you're into sports just as much as they are, I think I was kind of able to earn their respect in that way. I really, really appreciated Quinito Henson. I think he was one of the ones that really, I guess was he was a mentor. I mean, a lot of them were. But for me, just reading his articles and just kind of getting my head into what was kind of happening, I thought he helped me a lot in that way. Ed and Sev, all the guys that you guys mentioned, I thought that they also treated us with respect. So even though, it was kind of a new thing in a way. I mean, I know Cathy was there before and then Mylene, but when they brought a whole bunch of us together, and that was in 1993, I thought that was a lot of fun. Oh my God, Mylene, where did you find that picture? What a great shot.
That wasn't me. What is this? Oh my God. I don't remember this picture.
So some of the guys you mentioned, the Spanky's there. Spanky Enriquez.
Spanky, yeah. I still see Spanky periodically, yeah.
Tina Bitanga, Ana Amigo.
Tina, yeah. Ana, I saw recently. I bumped into her recently in Makati.
Yeah. Attorney Melanie Trinidad on the left. On the
wow.
Left, yeah.
Yeah. She was in law school when we were doing PBA together.
Oh, gosh, I forgot about that. And yeah. I missed that photo, by the way.
Ronith, who's the beauty queen? Charlie and I were trying to remember. What's her name? Was it Elisa? She joined us briefly.
Lisa Beroya? Was it Lisa Beroya?
Yeah. And then,
okay.
And then her. Oh my God, there's Chino. Oh my God.
So some of the players shot their shots. At you guys. Of course, si Ria actually married someone from the basketball world, But did the players also try to? Because he was your boyfriend already when you were with the PBA, Ri?
Yeah, he was. So I mean, nothing really, but like people would tell me, "Oh, this player wants your number or whatever." This player finds
landline ba yan, ha?
Beeper.
Oh, hindi, may cellphone na nung panahon ko. Excuse me.
Meron na. Yeah.
Wow.
Batang bata. Ang taray.
Yeah, but like speaking of Mataray, I think I kind of came across that way as well, which came in handy. Like if you don't want anyone to bother you, right? So yeah, it was just like maybe I was just admired from afar, you know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't really go out with anyone or anything like that.
Yeah,
I didn't go out with anyone because I had a boyfriend, and I think it was a blessing that I was not looking for a boyfriend when I went into PBA, because on my second day, someone gave me a bottle of cologne. You know, as you walk down especially when you're in Cuneta Astrodomes, you're walking down the hallway to the vintage office, you get like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? You want to go out? I mean, but you know, like you said, it's a male-dominated environment. So what else do you expect? I mean, you're guys. Does it even matter if the girl has a boyfriend or is even married? I mean, I'd say, no, I can't. I have a boyfriend. And they say, hindi naman ako seloso.
Classic line.
So, diba? So, if you're there for work, you know why you're there, then that's, you know, you're part of the environment. It's not a threat to you. The guys are not a threat to you. They're actually funny and nice and fun to get along with, and fun to talk to. The hardest group of people to actually get along with, or this is kind of controversial, were the women in the press and the women around the players, the wives and the girlfriends. Oh my God! To them, we were threats. So we were targets.
That's interesting.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, very interesting.
Come on, other ladies, can you chime in on that? Do you agree with? Did it happen to you too?
Oh yes, it did. In my case.
Sige,
Go ahead. Yeah, it happened to me. There was a colleague who was telling me that his girlfriend is kind of jealous of me or something like that. And then I told him, you know, you better tell your girlfriend that I still don't have a boyfriend, because my dad, at the time, everybody knows, the people I worked with, everywhere I worked with, they knew my dad because of his being some sort of a Jaworski. He would really guard me like hell. Tight guard nga. And so many of them kind of like stood from a mile away because they know that they don't stand a chance. And so again, back to this guy who kept telling me that the girl is kind of jealous. I said, you know, be at ease. Tell her, be at ease, because I don't have relationships with colleagues, not at all. So everything is just work. And just like what I said, a lot of people perceive me as somebody who is like off limits because of my dad. But there was this guy who kept stalking me, talagang stalk. And yeah,
Scary
but
naman.
my sila Seb would always say, they would always tease me, oh, ayan na, palapit na, titig na. And so, being me, very young and inexperienced, I'd stiffen up. I would get so scared. And but now, knowing what I know now, if I know then what I know now, I would have, you know, established a relationship with the person, because, you know, there's really nothing wrong with it. I would have, now, if I know where he is, I'd ask him to come over and have coffee with me, and we can be friends.
I thought you were gonna say na, if you back then, if you knew then what you know now, you would have already pushed him away and punched him or something.
Yeah. You know, Charlie, you were asking earlier, were they ready for us? I think the guys, and Ronith mentioned it, the guys welcomed us. They were happy to have, I guess, girls amongst them.
Yes.
But the women, I guess, you know, these women, single women in heavy makeup with big shoulder pads, they were not ready for that around their men.
Nakita mo lang yung photo ni Cathy eh. Nakita mo yung photo ni Cathy, naka-shoulder pads. Nag-mention ka na ng
and everything is covered up, diba? Everything is covered up. You know, sometimes I wonder, we were then very sexy and slim and fit. How come fashion at that time was not as
nga.
showing a little bit
It
more
did not
flesh.
exhibit that. Yeah, you're
We
right.
were coming out of the
Exactly.
80s, that's why.
Yeah, loose clothing,
We're
di
still
ba? Yung
coming
mga
out of
ano.
the 80s.
Si Ria tumatawa.
Sayang.
Sabi ni Ria, bakit nung panahon ko, sexy na kami. Pinapakita na yung mga, di ba? Kasi later on na talaga siya di ba?
Yeah, they were less strict about it. I think they liked it when we, dressed more fashionably and weren't so covered up. So I think when I was on there was a lot more freedom, at least when it came to fashion, which was nice.
Wow, especially then when you went to the NBA, which is a
Provided
different
jackets.
story altogether.
You're
Yeah, the
provided
jackets with the weird
shoulder
colors.
pads. Yeah, we had some designer made it for us. The green one, Ronith, do you remember that? It was like moss green, and then there was this really bright red one. So, and then the shoulder pads were like up to
I know, and that was what I did not need, more shoulders.
And your hair, you had your hair was
The
up,
hairspray,
diba?
the hairspray, di ba?
Oh
Hairspray.
yeah. And it was like forever a battle with. Remember, we called her mother, mother, the makeup artist. She'd put on this pancake. It was called pancake. So she'd wet it and then she'd put it like palitada talaga. And then so we'd go whenever I'd go up na to the studio in Cuneta Astrodome, it was up there in the rafters, diba? When she couldn't go up there because it was too high, I'd start taking it off.
Yes,
And
exactly.
then come down for the break, she'd put on. And then it was like that. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun being, looking back now, it was fun. I mean, especially having personalities like Ronith there and Cathy, sayang we didn't get to spend a lot of time together there. Tina. I mean, you have someone like Ronith Ang, who's a competitive athlete and who can backflip without hands. And, that must have been pretty and eloquent and, not scared of talking to people. So that must have been pretty threatening for the other women around that community, so to speak. This other picture was in my mom's house when she was mayor, and then the 7-Up and
This is
That's
Shell.
Shell, yes. Shell 7-Up came to Tuguegarao to play, so I was sent to cover, to do the courtside reporting there because I was from there. And
That's
yeah,
Tony Lu, di ba? That's Tony Lu,
Yeah,
di ba,
Tony
the
Lu.
photographer.
Tony Lu, yeah, he'd give us all the he'd take all pictures and then he'd give us pictures. I had a lot of pictures from Tony Lu.
I was
Yeah.
telling
How
Mylene
is
that
he?
Tony Lu he's still around, not as often anymore, but he still
Yeah, not
shows
as
up at the
often.
games until now. So,
Amazing,
Wow.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. He was such a nice guy. All my
Yeah.
pictures are from Tony Lu. And
so
I
you see
just found a whole
Jolly Escobar,
Jolly
sila
Escobar.
Terry Saldañas there, the late Terry Saldaña,
Yeah.
Abid Gidaben, Rino Salazar, mga guests din natin sa show, no?
And Herc Calianta.
Herc Calianta, yeah. Herc
Yeah.
Calianta with the belt
So
bag.
this is Jenny. She was with production, and then of course Ronith was on break. She probably did the first game, and then that's Tina. I have no idea where Tina is now.
Yeah, I've not heard from her either.
I forgot about her. Then I saw the photo. Ang ganda nga niyan. I
Ay,
was saying, I
gorgeous.
remember.
Tina
Yeah,
Bitanga. Grabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So what was the parang color coordinating theme noon? I mean, what days obviously today you wore red on this day, So parang rotation ba yan noon sa vintage on kunwari Thursdays you wear green, then or was it constantly red?
Kung maalala, hindi ko nga maalala kinain ko kahapon eh.
Yeah.
So they tell us ahead of time on the next PBA game, it's going to be this color.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it
And
doesn't
by
have to
this
follow a
time,
certain
the-
schedule.
The
How many
vintage-
colors pala? How many colors were there? That's
We
what I
had
want to ask.
three or two.
Oh,
This
three-
one,
three
and there
game
was a
days naman
moss
eh.
No,
Three
green
game
one.
days.
More. During my time, there
You
was
had more, Galing.
Yeah, we had
I think
more.
they were less strict during our time because I just
Yeah,
remember.
in our time, you could wear anything under. And then
Yeah.
by this
They were
time,
less
the vintage logo had evolved to a pin,
Mhm.
a metal
Yeah,
pin. Yeah.
Okay. So you could put it on any coat that you had, right? You just put it-
Yeah.
Speaking of jackets, this color of the jackets, I remember I was covering the UAAP games, and it was an Ateneo LaSalle game, and they told us specifically you have to wear a neutral color.
Yeah.
And so me being pasaway, just that one time I was pasaway, I had plenty of friends in Ateneo, so I entered the stadium and I was in an Ateneo blue jacket. And the gallery of Ateneo cheered and applauded and all. And, you know, sabi ko nga, only this one time. And they were all looking at me. My colleagues were looking at me, but they didn't scold me. I got away with murder. And then after that, during the coverage already, I changed into a neutral color, a gray colored jacket. So just had to tell that story. So
the funny thing is that we don't remember what we wore, but I met this guy because I work at a Catholic school here in Vancouver, and our maintenance guy, he asked me one time, he said, were you the one that I used to watch, you know, in the Philippines doing PBA? And I said, actually, yes, because he knew me as Cogswell at work. But then how many Roniths do you know? So then he said, were you that one? And I said, yes. And he said, oh my God, I remember what you were wearing that day. You were wearing these like black pants and this, and this was the game. And we were watching you and you were just going down to do a report. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't even remember. So it's funny that we don't remember, but I guess they do.
Fans remember you guys. You saw the comments on the post when we said you guys were going to be guests, and you see the comments coming out now. You know, we've been flashing some of the comments, but then let's get into the whole substance of being a reporter. You know, how would you guys prepare? Did you guys have rituals? Were you assigned to interview certain players pre-game? Did you do that? And the way they do it, Ria, because Ria's more familiar with how things go because her daughter was a reporter recently as well in the UAAP. But how would you guys prepare back then? Cathy, you already told us, kanina, more or less, people would teach you and all of that. But how about the others?
There was a script. There was a sequence of things to do. So if you were going on board, there was a script that you were to follow, and then eventually we had a teleprompter. Biggest blessing for me.
Thank goodness for those teleprompters, eh?
Yeah. So before that, you had to memorize the script and strange words. And then there was a whole sequence that you had to follow, and then it is side by side, like video, audio. So you had to follow that. But if you were doing the interviews, they gave you a piece of paper off cam. If you were doing off cam, they gave you a piece of paper and the list of questions were there. So you were to ask those questions, and sometimes, you know, you could ask more questions that would stem from those questions that were given to you. You would arrive, I would arrive an hour before the first game because you had to get makeup put on and all of that. And so, isn't that, what's his name? Tony Harris?
Tony Harris, that's him.
Scored, what was it, 105?
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, 105.
Oh, wow, my memory still works.
And Yang Yao with hair.
Yang Yao has no hair anymore.
Tagal na. Tapos si Jaworski. I'll throw a question. Siguro, how about you? Did you ever get intimidated? I mean, these are...
Yeah, that's my question. That's my
grabe
next question.
Tong mga to eh. That's Jaworski, Yang Yao, mga siga. And then they're really superstars and they're tough and they're, you know, so... Takot ka ba ever?
No, for sure. It was always intimidating if you understood who they were, but you kind of just fake it till you make it. And even though you're like shaking inside, you don't act like you are. I remember like the first Alaska game I covered, I guess they weren't briefed that there was this new female courtside reporter. So I'm listening in on the huddle of Alaska, and Tim Cohn didn't know me, obviously. So he kind of looks like that. He goes back to coaching and he seems so bothered, and he looks back again and he goes, "Can I help you?" And I was just like, "No, I'm good." But I still stood there because I needed to get the information from his timeout for my report, right? But that freaked me out. And then I remember there was one Ginebra game. I reported on something about their defense. I don't even remember what it was, but apparently it was very specific. So the next game, like somebody from the coaching staff was saying, "Uy, nagalit si coach." I said, "Why? What did I do?" He said, "Because I reported too much and I gave away their defense." And I was like, I'm not that good, okay? I don't see things that well. Whatever I said was pretty obvious, right? But I was kind of amused, though, and almost flattered that they thought I could give away such confidential information from the timeout. But, you know, like you guys are talking about, like, you have a script and a teleprompter. I never had a teleprompter for any game ever. So it was really like, you know, I mean, there's a game story, right? There's basically a sequence and talking points, but like all my reports I had to do myself. And in the beginning, you know, we had the folks from Silver Star, like the Garcia sisters, helping me out. Jude would help me out a lot. And then, of course, mentors like Sev, who were there. But it was really like, I felt like I was thrown on the deep end on my first day. And it was like, okay, go in there, get some important points. And then like 2 minutes later, you report it in your own words. So, you know, I mean, I think in general, like communication is my strength. So that was a big help, but it was intimidating to do that. But I always tell younger people who want to get into this field, courtside reporting is the best training because you have to get information and relay it clearly to your audience, just like that. So you have to think really, really fast. And I think that laid a really good foundation for, you know, the rest of my career in broadcasting.
That's right. That's right. Especially the guys like Jaworski and all of that. And it's so tough to go up to them. Yen Giao after a loss. Imagine that.
Yeah. That segues to my next question. Who was the toughest interview among players and coaches? For
define toughest.
Yung mataray, tapos especially after a loss, tapos parang they because some coaches and players, they talk down to reporters. If they think you ask a stupid question, they're gonna like roll their eyes or something like that. Yung ganong klaseng intimidation. Who was the toughest?
You know, going back to what Ria said, it was challenging, I guess. No, looking back now, you're talking to these huge stars like Jho there and Yen Giao, who wasn't really Mr. PR, but he was nice. He was nice naman to me. I don't remember being turned down by Yen Giao. You know, for me, I guess ignorance is bliss. So I just went ahead and just did things, and bahala na. I didn't know what to expect, so I didn't really know who these guys were. So I just went ahead and asked the questions that we were asked to ask. But there was one funny incident in when we were new in the Astrodome, so that they were making a big deal about moving to the Astrodome and the Cuneta Astrodome, the new home of the PBA, so. And then Ronnie Nathaniels was in the office, and I was sent to interview the players who were waiting along the hallway in front of the locker rooms. Ask them what they think about moving to this new home and all. And Jolas was there. And then, so the production person said, ask Jolas. So, okay. So they put the camera in Jolas' face. And I said, are you excited about moving to this new venue, your new home of the PBA? And then this is live, huh? There's like a big ass screen outside in the court. And then he goes, no.
That's Jolas.
Yeah, Jolas. Medyo tipid sumagot yan, yeah.
So I said, why naman? So I went back to the office, and Ronnie was fuming, man, like, what the hell? Not at me, but at Jola. I said, what was that? I said, I don't know. That's why I said, why? But why? And then there are some funny, I remember the funny interviews, like, hey, congratulations for winning MVP. And then you get, hey, congratulations too. Like, oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I had a similar story to tell about that. A young basketball player, I interviewed him, and I think he's kind of nervous being interviewed.
Yeah, I think they
probably
were as nervous as we were too.
Yes, exactly. They're more nervous than we are. And so I greeted him. I said, "Happy birthday to you," because it was his birthday. Happy birthday to you. And he said, happy birthday to you too.
Naganyan din ako, Cathy. Naganyan din ako.
Maraming takot guys like Terry Saldana, Samboy Lim, they don't really like being on cam.
Yes,
so,
that's right.
Terry Saldana started tickling Romy Quintanar, post-game interview. He started tickling Romy Quintanar, and Romy Quintanar didn't know what to do. Why is this guy tickling me, diba? Because he was so camera shy, but that's the crazy things that happen.
Samboy, my gosh, he was so nice. You know, I maintained a friendship with Samboy way after the PBA, and he would call me every now and then, and his then wife, si Lelen Lim, apparently Lelen and I knew each other before they got married, and before she became a lawyer, she was my aerobics instructor. Yeah, so it was so sad what happened to Samboy, but he was such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I was collecting jerseys. There was a time I was collecting jerseys, and then I said, Samboy, can I have your jersey? Sabi niya, sige, sige, mamaya pagkatapos. And then he sent his super wet jersey, like dripping with sweat, to me. I said, pwedeng pakilaban muna.
Grabe. Grabe intindi, ha? Okay. But anyway, so let's look at this couple of photos, the first half. What's left, Carly? Tingnan natin yung mga photos. Kasi that's taking us back in time. Eh. There are pictures of Cathy, no?
Si Jho, oh my God, yung kamay ni Jho, mawawala yung kamay mo when you show.
Sobrang laki.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is today. Ito medyo current na to, no?
Yeah, but I think I gave
These
some
are your
pictures
kids now,
from way back.
Cathy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's right.
Ay, adults na.
Diba? And then, of course, on the right side, that's the family. And then her husband is my fraternity brother. That's Joey.
Joey, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Fraternity brother.
This picture on the left is most recent. This is a picture taken me hosting a congressional show. So if you're interested in politics, please try to catch my program.
Plug. You can plug na.
We should make chismis pala.
Oo nga, we should.
I'm just
we
curious
should come
about
together.
the chismis
About politics.
that goes
So
on
when it comes
behind
to
the
politics,
scenes.
I have everything, all the stories.
Kasama sa politika, pati pamilya ni Ria, mga politiko din yan. So, ganun talaga. No, but well, let's take, Carly, let's just show the slides for the halftime. We'll just take a short break to tell everybody, remind everyone we're part of the Globally Ballin Network, and there's a show, Who the Heck Are We? And on Who the Heck Are We, there's a bunch of guys named Claro, Diego, and Juancho who journey through the UAAP season 87 men's basketball tournament. You can check out their snippets, game interviews, their social media pages on FB, IG, and TikTok. So check out Who the Heck Are We? And then you can watch and listen to us on Spotify. Send us some love. Give us a 5-star rating, please. And you can be our monthly supporter as well for 250 pesos or $4.99. We'll recognize you in our future episodes, and we'll love you forever if you do that. And then top 8 AEOB podcast episodes. Benji Paras. Oh, what's happening? Why am I echoing? Benji Paras is there, and then Pido Harencho have just entered the top 8. No, and then you see the other guys, and then Globally Ballin Southeast Asia on Facebook. You can follow that and get snippets of all the shows on the Globally Ballin Network. Let's dive right back in to the photos in the time capsule, guys. Kasi ang ganda ng mga photo natin. Yeah. Let's see what's the first photo for the second half. Ayan, there they are again. The two. There's the two of them. And then here's on the right side. This is interesting. SEA Games yan, no? Singapore media team, Ronith. So you did international coverages as well. You didn't do just basketball. Among all the sports that you covered, you did some volleyball. And then, I mean, what did you enjoy? And then tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, so I think it was kind of neat because whenever Vintage got to cover something, whether it was track and field, tennis, or karate, like they would say, do you want to do it? And I'm like, I don't know anything about these things. I do, but like not well enough to like really be a commentator. So do you guys know the Far Side comics? Anyway, it's like
I love the Far Side.
Right?
I love the Far Side.
It's like, you're throwing a dart and you're like, what am I an expert on today? And that's what it felt like, because you had to kind of like, pretend that you knew enough. So I really, really enjoyed, I'd say, tennis. I met some really big tennis players at the time. I enjoyed doing that with, I think his name was Jim Kelly. Do you guys remember Jim Kelly?
Yes, Jim Kelly.
Yeah. So I actually still talk to him. And he's a recruiter somewhere here in North America.
For the Raptors, I think.
Yeah, well, was for the Raptors. I think he's with another team now. But he came over to Vancouver and we had lunch or dinner or something like that. And then the karate was kind of cool. So Chino and I did that together. We got to be with all the athletes also. The Southeast Asian Games was interesting because you got to cover all the different sports, and we did the opening ceremonies, and I did that with Ed Pixon, which I thought was really cool. I'd say to him, if I all of a sudden like stop talking, you have to talk, because out of nowhere, like I won't be able to remember what it is I'm supposed to say or whatever. So I said, cover me, because sometimes I just stop talking and you need to talk. And he was always really good. Yeah, so I think all of it was very interesting for me, being able to just do all the different sports and not just basketball. So yeah.
Ronith, you haven't changed much, huh?
Are you kidding?
No, you do.
Tell my aging body that, Mylene.
We're all there.
Everybody feels that way. I think we all feel the same way. We're all from the same era, more or less.
Yeah.
Except Ria.
My niece agree.
Mine too.
Ronith, I have a question on the...
So that's okay. I guess that's expected.
Yes, go.
Yeah, I have a question lang, Ronith, on the 93 SEA Games, because were you able to cover the men's basketball gold medal match? Because that was, that story there was, it was a ragtag team and no one wanted to play for the national team. And so they had to send, not really the best athletes, but they somehow, stumbled into the gold medal. So, yeah, I don't know if you remember that, and if you and Ed were able to interview Tembong Melencio and all of those, the other players.
I think they had like a separate group, because we were mostly doing the intro and all of that, and then getting, well, for me, the real experts there. And Mylene, I think you were involved, but you were back in the studio, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the studio.
So yeah, but
all of you did things on cam and off cam as well, right? I mean, you wrote, I guess, scripts. You did a little bit of production also. So it wasn't all just on cam and doing reports, right?
I did a lot of the production work before I went on cam, and then eventually I ended up just doing on cam. But before that, I was editing until 4 or 5 in the morning for the game the following day, kind of thing. Shooting at the gyms where the teams were playing. I remember Reyes Gym. I would go there to with the production team, to interview the players that were practicing there. And then Eric Reyes's mom be so nice. She's such a lovely lady. She'd invite me to the house, give me merienda and all. Because Eric and I had been friends since college, so we were schoolmates in Ateneo. We were actually classmates in some classes. So I did. I was heavily into the production aspect. And as I mentioned earlier, I kind of by accident ended up doing on cam.
Did you all attend the practices also? Would you go on practice days?
Some, if I was, I would be there. Yeah, I had to go with the team. That was if we had to interview someone, if it was like a crucial game coming up, then we were asked to interview the coaches, the players, ganyan. Then we would take footage of the practices. So yeah.
I saw Ria and Ronith saying no. They're both
because I didn't do so much production work. The only on-cam stuff I really did was writing my own reports. So I wouldn't go to practice. They never asked us to. In retrospect, I probably should have gone to do better research, especially like during playoffs or something. But no, I never went to practice. I would just get my information from them before or after the games.
How about championships? When teams would win championships, did any of you ever do the locker room thing with the champagne and the water and all of that?
No, the guys would be
sad. They were like, no, mababasa ka lang. Sayang yung makeup mo.
Oh, wala. None of you did that, huh?
No, we were not allowed. The guys would be sad. I mean, you had Chino, you had Frankie, you had Ronnie doing that.
Anthony.
See, lately, the ladies would do it. Sel Guevara would do it, diba?
Erica Padilla before.
Erica Padilla also, So they get all the champagne poured on them and all that. But of course, they put raincoats on.
Yeah. They're more careful now, diba? And they also wear goggles, but
You don't want any R-rated stuff to happen on during the locker room celebration. Let's talk about certain personalities. Any memorable interviews aside from the congratulations also and all of that? Does anyone have a story worth talking about? What sticks in your mind?
Gosh.
Feel free to jump in.
I'm sure there were some.
Ano na lang, what about a blooper?
Oh, okay. Sige, bloopers.
Oh my God.
I have tons of bloopers. It's live TV. There is no take two. I remember one time in UAAP, I was reporting on a particular player from NU, and I was talking about him, and then I forgot his name. And this was like on my first or my second day. So I was looking at the camera and I just go, and I couldn't remember his name. And I'm like, you know his name? And I was just buying myself time. And I think it was Jude. And then Jude said his name. And I was like, yes.
Buti na lang. Buti may sumalo sa'yo, di ba?
Buti na lang. And when I was doing PBL, there was a lot of pressure to speak in Filipino. And, I grew up overseas, so my Filipino was not that good. I'd like to say it's better now somewhat, but it wasn't that good at that time. And, I'm giving my report in English and somebody's yelling in the override, magtagalog ka, right? So I was talking about the team's game plan, and basically the problem was they would leave a gap in the paint so somebody could drive in. So they needed to close the gap. But what came out of my mouth while I'm trying to think in English and somebody's yelling at me to speak in Filipino, and I said, they need to, because there might be a butas in the middle.
Okay.
And they were like, what was that? And I'm like, you can't be yelling in my ear when I'm like mid-sentence, right? But yeah, no, it sounded terrible. But,
there might be a butas. Oh my God.
I remember something funny that happened, but it didn't involve me. It was a dear friend, a dear colleague who passed on, Chino Trinidad.
Okay.
And
I think I know this.
Yeah. Sige. I might be thinking of the same thing.
So he was doing a segment, and it was about the panelists at the time were Bill Velasco and Butch Manolo. Oh, you know that story.
I remember this.
Yeah.
This is legend.
Legendary.
Legendary.
And I think this is one of the first few performances of Chino. That's why he was really very nervous. So when it was time for him to take to turn it over to Bill and Butch, he accidentally said, "Okay, back to Ballin, bitch," and everyone really laughed. Oh my God, that will really go down in history as a classic.
Yep.
Buti na lang wala pang social media noon.
Yes,
exactly. That's right.
That would have gone viral.
But even the best of the best really make mistakes. The best of the best really make mistakes.
It's hard talaga kasi it's spontaneous, it's live, di ba? You have
exactly.
To,
and the viewers, the public must have to be more forgiving. Kasi we're in a lot of pressure here. So
hey, you're lucky. You guys are lucky. I mean, I think wala pang social media. Imagine the girls now or the commentators now. The shit that they get. My God.
Back when I started, there was a website. I don't know if you remember it, Charlie. It was called Pinoy Exchange.
Yeah. Pinoy Exchange. Right.
Yes. Jude was in charge of that, right?
Jude was in charge of that. So basically they have all these different chat rooms or threads and
forums. They call it forums, right?
Yeah,
forums there, and they could talk about anything they wanted. Of course, basketball was on there, and probably one of the worst things I did for my mental health was to go on there, and wow, like. Some people were nice, but on forums like that, they're mostly bashers and they can be cruel, and I'm just like, you sort of feel hurt by it. But at the same time, you're like, you know what, you stand here and do this and feel the pressure and 1,000 eyes on you. And, let's see how well you do. But yeah, it's typical somebody behind a keyboard with no face, ang lakas mag-bash, diba?
Using a different name, diba? Some handle, and they're so brave when you do that.
Yeah.
Diba? Oh, this is a more current picture of Ronith.
Oh yeah.
First pictures rather. So,
yeah. That's my family. So that was taken this summer. We went to Italy and we went to Florence to celebrate my 60th birthday.
No way, Ronith.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You're not 60. You are not.
Exactly. No way.
See? Oh.
Yeah. So we thought, we should just go away. So that's my 2 daughters and then their boyfriends. And then my husband's in the back. That's Paul. And then I did the Camino with my sisters and a cousin. And so this was in one of the towns. We walked 130 kilometers in 7 days. And I was praying the whole time that my knees wouldn't go on me, because that's happening soon. I'm going to have a double knee replacement.
Seriously?
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, I've had 2 ACL surgeries, and I think I've just abused my knees. So I'm going to get new knees. Yeah, I'm going to get new ones so that I can keep going. Maybe at 80 I'll win something.
Do you guys remember? You remember the player Onchi de la Cruz?
Yeah, was he a guard?
Yeah, he was a guard for
Yeah,
Tanduay, for Shell. Anyway, he's watching now. He's just
Right.
mahirap daw makinig kasi English. Sabi niya. Si Onchi.
Hi, Onchi.
Most of you were all under vintage, right? At one point, even you, Reno, you reached vintage. So we've spoken to Sev, we talked to Dr. J. They've been our guests. We had a show in tribute to Smoking Jho Cantada. Then all these guys would tell us that Bobong Velez would meet the panelists and talk to them and strategize on a regular basis. Kasama ba kayo dyan sa mga meetings na yan?
Minsan.
No.
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 Not really.
Just the panelists lang. Would you have sessions with him? I mean, separate?
Oh, yeah. Well, me, because I was working in the office, tapos he would review,
And then
he would
asking
review
me.
he would review the
and then
tapes
in the
before
office,
airing.
Also in the office, and then when he would tell us, Cathy, you have to come and join us at Faces. That's what I remember about him.
Gusto niya
Such a
gumimik,
good boss. Oh, such a good
Yeah.
boss. Very kind.
He was super hands-on yun. Parang nagtrabaho ka buong gabi para mag-edit. Tapos gusto niya makita yung in-edit mo ng 10 a.m. So pagkatapos mo mag-edit buong gabi hanggang alas 5 ng umaga, uwi para maligo, balik sa opisina ng 10 a.m. kasi gusto makita ni Bobong yung in-edit mo bago i-air sa first game or sa second game ng halftime or pre-game show. So ganon. Tapos gusto ka rin niya makita sa
that.
Yeah. And this was, when you say edit, this is like the torture of pneumatic pa noon, no? Hindi pa yung editing ngayon.
Yeah.
Digital na, hindi. For a 5-minute feature, you take like 8 hours. Wow. Purgang-purga ka na mag-edit buong gabi. Tapos kailangan ando ka ng 10 a.m. Tapos, pagkatapos noon, kailangan nasa Faces ka pa sa kung may party after the game.
Pipilitin ka pa, ha? Pipilitin ka pa.
Kailangan nandun ka.
Here are some photos dito, late 90s na ito. No? This is Ria with the NBA. When they started the NBA in 1999, I think 98?
98.
They started in 98, but I joined in 99.
Okay, so this is a 99 photo, I suppose, because Lexi's there.
Yes.
So Danny Francisco, I was with last Friday.
Danny.
Who else?
Have you met Danny Francisco's son? I met Danny Francisco's son recently. He looks exactly like him.
He's 6'6" also, right? He's as tall as Danny.
Wow.
And Andrison Tay eating I don't know what it is.
I think that's a cake flour. I can't remember what occasion this was, but yeah, when I was in vintage, it was like Anthony and I were like the babies, basically. He wasn't on the panel yet. He was still just a courtside reporter. And I remember so when I started the season, I had long hair, and then I didn't tell them that I planned to cut it, and I cut it, and they were so upset with me. But I'm like, no, it's like Gwyneth Paltrow hair. Like, nope, they were not happy at all. But yeah, on the picture on the left, that was with the NBA crew. And that was really, really fun because I feel like I got to get to know the NBA panelists and other reporters much better, just simply because we traveled around the country so much.
Right.
You're on planes and buses for hours and hours. So that was fun, and I felt like we were like a very solid broadcast team at the time. So that was.
The out of town games were fun, huh? I mean, I got sent to do out of town games in Cebu, and then of course Cagayan. there was a time I think we were in Cebu, and then I was nakiki-crowd control kasi the crowd after the game, they all wanted to come to the court and have autographs and pictures with the players. So I was nakiki-crowd control. Tapos sinigawan ako ng cameraman, umalis ka na dyan kasi pati ikaw kukuyugin. Okay. Kilala pala nila.
Yeah, well, they still love the out of town games. So marami pa rin nanonood when we have out of town games.
Up to now.
It's like a fiesta when you're out of town. It's like a big, town event.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. And you know that there are certain cities where the team is so beloved and the people really come out to watch them. So, cities like Cebu, Bacolod, Davao, we'd always have huge crowds there. And it was really fun. It had a fiesta atmosphere talaga.
Lalo na pag may player na taga doon. Ganyan.
Right.
So,
yes.
May motorcade pa yan, di ba? Upon the arrival of the teams, di ba, in the bus.
Before, yeah.
May, ano pa yan, police escort, di ba? Going through town, so.
There's a funny thing that happened. One time, I was, nasa airport ako, pauwi ng Tuguegarao. So I was checking in. Nasa likod ko pala si Romel Adukul.
Okay.
Hindi ko siya kilala kasi hindi na kami nag-abot. Romel, di ba? Tama?
Yes.
Romel, yes.
Yeah. So he was standing behind me. I didn't know he was, and I didn't know who he was. And then the person checking me and said, "Together?" So ko, ha?
bagay pala kayo.
Sino? Parang anak ko na lang yun.
So you're talking about players na. Do you guys have a favorite player? During your time, who was your idol mo si Jolas or si Cap Alvin or something? So when you see them, parang were you fans? Ganon?
Well, I had like a favorite moment. This was during the NBA, but involves Alex Compton and Don Ontiveros, who ended up playing for Alaska and San Miguel, I think, right?
Yes.
But anyway, Don was from the Cebu Gems, and Alex was from the Manila Metro Stars, and Manila won the championship. And these two guys, they just kind of, this is how I remember it, kind of dramatically. I might be exaggerating, but it feels like they met in the middle of the court and they shook hands and they really hugged each other, and you could just feel how much respect they had for one another. And then, when they came apart from their hug, they both removed their jerseys and exchanged them.
Yeah.
Such a great, touching moment. I remember I was with Lexi Schultz, and pareho kaming parang naiiyak na because it was just so wholesome and so heartfelt, and I'll never forget that. It was so nice. And
I think because they just had a shootout, the two of them, and they were
really?
It was Manila versus Cebu, and they were making 3-pointers, the two of them. It was a really close game. I think that's the game.
Yeah. And I just love the respect and admiration they had for each other. It was great.
But did you? Who's your favorite player, Ri? Not Luigi Trillo. I mean, PBA player.
PBA, like today or back?
Or even back then. I mean, parang
back then, probably Johnny A.
Johnny A. Abarientos, Alaska talaga. Ikaw, Cathy, nung time na yon, sino yung paborito mo? Jaworski ka ba?
Apart from Jaworski, who's always been very nice to me, very accommodating, I really love Alan Kaidik because I love players who are very good at the three-point line. And June Limpot was also very nice. He's younger, I think. And
with the photo with Limpot kanina.
Yes, that's right. You didn't show it. Did you show it?
Yeah, we did.
He's one of my favorite players also because of his kindness. Talagang nakakatuwa siyang kasama. I guess because he's young and he's always accommodating. So those are the three players I really, really love.
Si Ronith, aside from Alex Araneta, who else?
I think Juan Fernandez. I thought Juan Fernandez was also, very, always nice, a gentleman, spoke well, easy to talk to.
Yeah, until now comes out on TV for interviews pa rin. Yeah. Si Mylene, sino naman sa'yo?
I liked, I became friends with quite a few, but sila, the UP guys then, Ronnie Magsanok. I love the couple, Ronnie Magsanok and his wife. They were so friendly, so nice.
Yeah.
I used to get gas pa from their gas station here in
Yeah.
Aurora Boulevard. Aurora Boulevard, di ba?
Yeah. And then Benji was very friendly. Very nice to get along. Joey Guanyo. Yeah. And then see Alvin. Alvin is still a friend up to now. Actually, Alvin was one of the first people that I texted because I was abroad when Chino died. I was getting the news as he had just passed on. So I said, who can I tell? Because Babs might need support there in the Philippines, you know. So the two people that I messaged first were Sev and Alvin.
Right. And Sev posted that you messaged him, right?
Yeah, apparently it was like early in the morning there. I was in Germany. It was like middle of the day, and napaupo ako sa gitna ng mall when I saw the text from Babs, and like, oh my God. So yeah, so text Sev and Alvin. So Jho, of course, oh my God, it's like yan ang star. Yan ang may aura kung aura, di ba? Pag kinamayan ka ni Jho, yung kamay mo nawawalang ganyan.
Yeah, really big hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
depends. I mean,
well.
Samboy is awesome player, and I mean, I admired the guys who were great on the court and really decent and nice people off the court. So yeah, and so they're the ones up to now I'm friends with. And then of course there were those who I went to school with, Eric Reyes, ganyan. Yeah.
Si Eric just celebrated his 25th wedding anniversary.
I know, full on, diba? Grabe.
Big celebration. So
yeah, I'm so happy for him. Galing.
Pero, okay, so are you guys still involved? Do you still watch the PBA? I know Ria does, of course. So the question's not for you, Ria. But the other three, are you
no
involved
choice?
At all?
I have no choice.
Yeah, you have no choice. Yeah, I know you're there. I see you there all the time. But Cathy, are you still watching PBA at all?
No, not as much anymore. Not as much anymore. I'm really a news person. That's why between the two, I rather give up on sports and go back to news and public affairs. But, you know, I really wish that basketball is going to maintain the interest that they have, that they've always enjoyed, you know, because everybody loves basketball. I don't know a soul who doesn't like and enjoy watching basketball. There is, though, a new interest in women's volleyball. That's why I'm really hoping that the PBA basketball leagues can come up with something to spur the interest of the people, just so bumalik talaga yung glory days ng basketball. But yes, now that you said, I'm going to try and watch a basketball game very, very soon.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I am totally clueless. I don't know what's happening anymore. Diba, Charlie, I was telling you nga, I was on a plane to Tuguegarao again, and then these two young athletic-looking guys sat beside me in the front row. I said, mga basketball players siguro to. So and then I fell asleep while the plane was loading people pa. And I opened my eyes and then I saw Alvin Patrimonio. I'm like, what? Am I dreaming? What's happening? Yung pala, they had a what do you call it? A friendly game or what? What's it called?
Legends tour, yeah, they go around.
Yeah, in Tuguegarao. So and then there are two younger guys whom I didn't know. They were there naman they were promoting their company. So they had played for Ateneo. Syempre, I'm senior moment. I don't even remember who they were. But while we were waiting for our luggage, I said, look, hey, I'm a tita and I don't know who you guys are, but you're probably famous. Who are you?
I'm a tita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so not too much involved because Ria's different. She watches UAAP, she watches PBA, of course, because of for obvious reasons. Kaya very involved pa rin si Ria sa basketball world, sa circle. And then you watch the games live often, right, Ria? I know you're busy. What do you do now, Ria? I mean, CNN nawala na yun.
Yeah, I haven't been working since CNN shut down. So, we had the opportunity to do like a lot of travel this year. And so, when you're filling up the immigration form and it asks for occupation, I was telling my husband, look, I'm a housewife. for the first time in my life. I was like, I think I kind of like it. So not, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time with the kids and you know, doing things around the house, which, you know, I've never done full time since I got married. And yeah, being your proverbial basketball wag. So, you know, I told my husband, when I was working, and I was working a very early morning show, like I would not watch the games. There's just no way. So now I said, you know what, babawi na ako, right? So I'm going to go to like all the games, as you know, as much as I possibly can. So I'm there a lot. I'm there a lot.
Yeah, and I do see you there. And of course, UAAP, I see you cheering for LaSalle. Are you cheering for LaSalle in the UAAP already, or Ateneo ka pa rin?
Well, if it's college UAAP, then it's Ateneo. But then if it's high school, you know, then I cheer for LaSalle. So I shift between the two pretty easily. It's not a big deal.
And then on the right, we see this pickleball player. I think she's a very serious pickleball player, right, Ronith?
I don't want to mess with her.
Yeah, no, I've been playing pickleball. Yeah, I've been playing pickleball since 2016. And I think funny because at the time people would say, what is that sport? You know, we've never heard of it. But I was just really into it. It was a replacement for tennis for me. And, you know, I couldn't cover the court as well. So I thought pickleball would be a good alternative. And then, I don't know, everybody just started getting into it during COVID, I guess. That's what started it. But I did go back to Manila a couple of times, and I found people there to play with. And it's growing like really rapidly. I think a lot of people are playing. There's so many tournaments. I would love to one day go back and just and go to like a tournament or something. But also I teach a lot. So I'm a certified coach. Probably between playing and teaching, I spend about 20 hours a week on the court. I think it's a passion that I have. I'm also the media relations person for the Vancouver Pickleball Association. So when there's issues and people need somebody either on radio or TV, I end up representing the club. And there's always issues like noise. That's a big one. A couple of years ago, there was even a hunger strike because there was a court built too close to someone's house. So I get to talk about it and the position of, you know, our I guess all pickleball players, right? It's not like we want to take tennis away from anyone, but we just kind of want to grow the sport. So that's my only connection really to media now, is just doing this as a volunteer. And of course with basketball, I'll always watch. So the boys' school that I'm at we're really, really big into basketball. And in fact, a couple of our alumni are playing basketball for the Philippines. So there's the Cruz Dumont brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, so they actually graduated from Vancouver College, which is where we're from. And so there's always going to be some kind of connection.
Quick question on pickleball, Ronith, because, what's the appeal? How come so many people are taking it up? I know it looks easier than tennis, but it probably isn't. But because even a former tennis pro from Canada, Jeannie Bouchard, she's now playing regularly, and on the pickleball circuit. So, what makes it unique?
I think the accessibility for sure of the game, and the learning curve is definitely not as steep. I think to actually get a whole bunch of people to learn it, you can do it in a day. But to master it, that's what takes a long time. So even somebody like Jeannie, like she went in and thought, okay, I'm going to be a pro pickleball player. But really, it's taken her quite some time. Like she didn't just go in and say, okay, I was a highly ranked tennis player and I can transition. You can transition, but you can't, like, there's so much nuance of the sport that, there's still a lot to learn. I think it's inexpensive. All you need is really one paddle and your runners, and that's it. And it's very social. So I can play and really get to know people. And also, like, I play with young people, I play with old people. It doesn't really matter. I teach this guy, he's a tattoo artist. He loves it, you know, and then I'll also teach somebody that's maybe in their almost 70s. I've also taught a kid who's like 8 years old. So everybody, you know, it's really accessible. That's the only word I can use. Yeah.
We have a former guest of ours, former import in the PBA and an NBA player, Ronnie Grandison. He plays pickleball too competitively in the US. Yeah, he told us about it when he guested a few months ago. So yeah, it's an in thing. Hey, it's crazy here. Ronith, have you been back recently?
Oh my gosh,
pickleball all over the place here now.
Yeah, I'm in like different forums for Facebook chats and stuff, and I can't believe how much is happening. And because I first went in, let me think, 2019, and I couldn't find really a lot of people to play with. And then I went back again in 2022, and I found a little group, you know, and I'm sure if I go back now, they'll be like, it'll just be super available.
It's the official sport of the titos and titas here.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. Yeah. Not
but the young people, the young people are starting to pick up, and they're changing the game. Like they are making it faster and just so much better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. But then, good luck on your knee surgery, though. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah. Good luck, Ronith.
This one I've been meaning to ask because Mylene, has a PhD in archaeology. Okay.
Wow.
So, and there she is in one of the, I don't know, what do you call that? A work site?
A dig. It's a dig. It's a dig. Yeah.
So can you tell us about this? How did that happen? I mean,
I'm asking myself also.
Com arts ka?
So
college.
I was a com arts graduate. Anyway, long story. How did I end up? Yeah, I was trying to finish a master's degree in fine arts, and I was asked to do research on prehistoric Filipino art, and I ended up doing research in archaeology, and I ended up finishing a master's in archaeology, and then eventually PhD in prehistoric archaeology and cultural heritage management of prehistoric archaeological sites and materials. So this picture on the left that you're seeing, ito yung naghuhukay kami sa taon-taon naghuhukay kami sa Kalinga. Diyan namin nahanap yung 709,000-year-old rhino. So it's the oldest archaeological site sa buong Pilipinas dito sa Rizal, Kalinga, Western Cagayan. Sa may Western Cagayan. Yan. So this was, I think, 28, before the pandemic. Ito namang nasa kanan, ito yung, this is how I ended up being Honorary Consul of Georgia in Manila. After my master's, I decided to do an experiment. So I did my field work for my master's degree in Georgia, in Dimanisi, this beautiful, wonderful site with 1.8 million-year-old human fossils. And then I was thinking, kung dalhin ko ba tong information na to sa Pilipinas, magagawa ko ba siyang interesting para sa mga Pinoy na like me, wala naman kaming tayong alam about Georgia, ganyan. So I partnered with Marites Quisha of Cozos Inc. And then we did a whole year exhibition in 7 universities in Manila. So the big ones, LaSalle, UP, Ateneo, FEU, NU, ano pa? Basta 7 yun. So we'd put up the exhibit. It would be there for a month. And within that month, we'd have lectures and sandbox archaeology and all of that. So the whole year of 2017, we were touring this, we called it the Traveling Museum. And it was like, what was the title? The first humans out of Africa, about the early humans in Dimanisi, Georgia. It was very successful naman. Up to now, we still get invitations to speak. I don't bring the whole exhibit anymore. I bring the stalls, some of which are behind me. So that's the story, Charlie. Yeah.
Galing, diba? No, I just found it really intriguing when you sent me your resume, and then I saw that. Wow, diba? That's a far cry from basketball, right? So
yeah, so
galing yan. And then of course, Cathy's still doing her media things until now with the Senate. So If you want chismis on what's going on in the Senate, si Cathy is
Now
the
we
right.
know. Now we know.
Now you know who to call, huh?
You're going to be busy as hell in the next few because the
Yeah.
elections are coming
I
up,
know.
and so you're going to be
Exactly.
diba?
Exactly.
Now
So,
pa lang with the Senate hearings, no? So hindi na
Ay,
pala ako
nako.
kailangan mag-doomsday scrolling para
Wala.
makapanood ng ano.
I'm just a
Message ko
call
na lang si
away.
Cathy.
Oh, I'm just a call away. Anything you want to know about politics, just give me a holler.
Magtawagan na
I'll let you
kayo
in.
lahat. So, Sid, mga pahabol questions, anything?
No,
before we enter the
actually,
program?
kay Cathy lang. What's the unique challenge naman in covering the Senate compared to, basketball?
The Senate, because the senators especially are hard to get in touch with. You have to do a lot of scheduling, and sometimes, although they're really nice naman and accommodating, but it's the schedule.
All of them?
Let's talk in private. Let's talk in private.
Describe the character of the Senate now compared to the Senate in the 90s.
Grabe, no?
Naku, baka mawalan ako ng trabaho.
Wag na. Basketball tayo. Mahirap na yan. Anyway, okay ka na, Sid?
Well, yeah. You have a fan pala, someone watching on our YouTube channel. Oh my God, Miss Cathy de Leon, still beautiful. So.
Oh, thank you.
Diba?
Yeah.
Kung sino man si Kainan
Thank you,
TV.
nag-blush ako.
May mga fans talaga kayo. You guys have fans. You see naman from the comments and then, diba, people who were sharing the fact that you guys are going to be our guests. But, well, sarap ng kwentuhan about all of that. And I'm sure there's so much more. We could go on forever. But I know that Cathy's got some stuff to do as well. Ronith also has a dinner with the daughter. So I guess we'll enter the segments na, no, Sid? Pasok na tayo?
Yes, go.
Yeah, let's enter the Twilight Zone. That means we're in the last 2 minutes of our show, more or less, in basketball terms. So the Twilight Zone, our first segment, it's a segment called X's or O's. Have you always wanted to do a farm stay just over an hour's drive from Cagayan de Oro in Barangay Kalugmanan, Bukidnon? That's Tuminugan Farm. Tingnan nyo naman, napakaganda. Offering a taste of country life, the farm's accommodations are situated in a charming farmhouse and cozy cottage. You can take a cool dip in a mountain water reservoir, have a picnic at dawn with a canyon as a backdrop, or have a bonfire under the enchanting starlit Bukidnon sky. What are you waiting for? You can start your Mindanao adventure there today. Tuminugan Farm, napakaganda. Private paradise at the heart of Bukidnon. Okay, for X's or O's, I have a bunch of choices. I have a list of choices. I'll ask you guys to choose. You just tell me your choice. You don't have to explain why. So I have some choices for all of you, and then there are some that are particular to each of you. Okay? For this, grabe yung brainstorming namin for this one kasi apat kayo eh. Usually one guest lang eh. So so quickly tayo. We'll go. Let's the order will be Cathy, Ronith, Mylene, Ria. Ganon. Cathy, Ronith, Mylene, Ria. Ganon. Okay, so number 1, Araneta Coliseum or Cuneta Astrodome?
Araneta.
Cuneta.
Cuneta. Mylene.
You're on mute.
Nakamute ka. Ba't ka nakamute? How do you unmute?
Oh.
What happened?
Yeah.
Can we unmute that? Is that something we can do? Oh, she's gone.
I think she'll come back.
Ria, Cuneta or Araneta?
Araneta, they have Shake Shack.
Yeah, now they have Shake Shack. She'll be back. Balikan natin si Mylene mamaya. Okay. Ito. Dugout report or courtside report?
Courtside. Yes, anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, si Mylene. Cuneta or Araneta?
Araneta, kasi I
Araneta
never did anything in Araneta, but I'd like to.
Mas
Cuneta
okay
was
sa'yo.
even then the environment around.
And the second question is dugout report or courtside report?
Courtside.
Courtside. Ria, ikaw din?
I kind of like the dugout because no one else can go in there.
Okay, so dugout sa'yo. Okay, third. Halftime summary or after timeout report?
Halftime summary. Yes.
Can I say
because
pregame?
I do that a lot. I would do that a lot before.
Pre-game, yeah.
Actually, I have another one there. Okay, so how about you, Mylene?
Halftime summary and pre-game.
Henry?
Halftime.
Halftime, okay. Rather than timeout, okay. Okay, ito. Actually, the next one is pre-game or post-game report?
Pre-game.
Pre-game.
Yeah.
Pre-game.
Pre-game, okay. Scripted or extemporaneous?
Scripted.
Teleprompter.
I didn't have a teleprompter. Did we have a teleprompter before, Mylene? I don't remember having a teleprompter.
No, in where was the old in Ultra we didn't. We had Manila paper. But
exactly, the one that you roll.
But in Cuneta, nag-level up now. We had a teleprompter.
Okay. So, so scripted or extemporaneous? Scripted. Do you like it better? More than extemporaneous? Everybody?
Extemporaneous.
Extemporaneous,
No,
Ria.
Extemporaneous is okay.
No teleprompter, Ria.
Okay.
No. Okay, next one. Jaworski or Fernandez?
Ooh.
Oh.
I love them both. How can I choose?
It's a tie for Cathy. How about you, Ronith?
I guess it would be Fernandez.
Fernandez. Mylene?
Both.
Both rin. Tie rin. How about you, Ri?
Fernandez
over Jaworski. Okay, ako. Fernandez din ako. Okay. Here's a question. Who were the loudest fans aside from Ginebra? Was it Alaska, San Miguel, or Pure Foods?
San Miguel.
I think San Miguel.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
I don't remember.
Pero San Miguel. So San Miguel's number 2 talaga aside from besides Ginebra. Okay. Okay. Paras or patrimonio?
Paras.
Yeah.
Really? No explanation. You said it.
We're still friends now. Benji, nasa na.
Really? How about you?
I think patrimonio.
Patrimonio, okay.
Yeah, patrimonio.
And
Patrimonio also.
Patrimonio also over Paras. Okay. On cam or behind the cam?
Behind.
On cam.
Yeah.
I'm born to be on cam.
No, yung tatlo on. Si Mylene ang behind. Ayaw ni Mylene ng camera. Okay. Meneses or Samboy?
Samboy, yes.
Samboy.
Ang sakit naman yan kung nanonood si...
Pero gusto ko rin si Meneses. I think I have a picture with Meneses.
Yes, we showed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kasama si Pablo. You're with Pablo and Meneses in one of the photos.
But I didn't spend too much time with Meneses. That's why.
Lakers or Celtics?
Lakers. Celtics.
Celtics here, Ronith. Yeah. Who said Lakers? Was it Ria or Mylene?
No, my son is Maka-Lakers because he lives in LA, but
okay.
I can let them too.
Ikaw, Cathy, may preference ka, Lakers or Celtics?
Well, Lakers, I guess.
Okay, thank you. 3-1. Okay. Si Sid kasi Celtics fan, ako Lakers fan. So panalo ako today, 3-1. Okay. Oh, this is for Cathy. Cathy, news or sports?
News.
News.
Do I have to elaborate? No.
Next. Sports or politics?
Politics. Because the news and politics go hand in hand, I guess.
Last. Research or speech writing?
Speech writing. I'm a speech writer as well.
Okay, yeah. That's why I saw it in your list. Okay. Ronith, how about you? Ronith, basketball, volleyball, or pickleball?
Oh my God. Oh God. Okay. Right now, I guess pickleball.
Pickleball wins now. Okay. 1991 Manila Sea Games or 1993 Singapore Sea Games?
93.
93 Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay. Sports anchor or sports analyst?
Sports anchor.
Anchor. Okay. Because you were an analyst for volleyball, right? Okay. Yeah. Mylene, ikaw, writing or sportscasting?
Writing.
Senate media or PBA media?
Senate media.
Okay. Mga politiko to, mga ladies natin. Archaeology or diplomatic affairs?
Diplomatic affairs.
Okay. Diplomatic affairs. O Ria, ikaw naman. ABS-CBN or CNN?
CNN.
Newscasting or program hosting?
Program hosting.
Because you did have a show for a long time.
Yeah.
Durendes or Lastimosa?
Come on. Jeez. Lastimosa, I guess.
Okay. Baka sabihin niya no. Baka gumanon siya sa'yo, di ba? Parang ginawa niya kay Mylene. And then, okay. And then this one, I have to ask all of you, no? Let's show the first photo, please, Carly. Who from the four? Brad, Ben, Tom, or Hugh?
Hugh.
Oh,
Brad.
Hugh. Oh, how about you, Renee?
I think Hugh Grant too.
Hugh Grant also. Okay, Mylene.
I'm commercial, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. And Ria?
I think Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Oh,
3.
panalo
Wow.
si Hugh. Yeah, panalo si
Crazy.
Hugh.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. And then the last photo. Let's show the last photo, please, Carly. O, sino yan? Si Aga, si Goma, si Ian, o si Gabby?
Aga. Bagay.
Aga si Mylene.
Aga ko, Aga.
Is that the second one? Is that the second one to the left?
No, that's Richard.
Gomez.
Aga's on the left. That's Aga on the left. Then Richard Gomez, Ian Veneracion.
Oh,
and
I'm Richard Gomez.
Okay, so Renise kay Richard. Si Cathy is Ian?
Ian, yes.
Okay. Oh, Ria, ikaw.
I think I'm going to go with Ian because there was a PBA celebrity game during All-Star Weekend and I coached his 3-on-3 team.
Oh, wow. Okay. Really? No, nag-coach ka rin pala. Oh, that's great. So, okay. So,
Kung
iba-iba.
wala.
So, nobody likes Gabby, ah? Okay.
Yeah,
Walang
nobody likes
Gabby.
Gabby,
Walang
Wait,
personalan.
Gusto ko rin si
Wala naman,
Gabby.
Diba? You just have to answer. Sabi ko nga, I always say X's or O's, wala. No, dapat walang sumama ang loob. It's just choices. For fun lang naman. That's X's or O's for episode 236.
Sige. Very quickly lang, Mylene, someone wants to greet you.
Joey, hi.
Joey Guanyo.
Hello. How are you?
Hello, Coach Joey.
Oh, may follow-up naman siya. Hi,
Oo
Cathy.
nga, meron din. Hi,
Si
Cathy
Joey
din.
Guanyo.
Yes, hi. Of course, I know you and thank you for remembering me. It's been so long. Hi, Joey.
Diba?
Yeah, of course. Joey, you have to also greet the two others. Hindi
Yeah.
pwedeng dalawa lang. Ano ba naman yan, Coach?
What is
You
Joey
mentioned
now,
kanina-
coach? What's
Yeah, Joey works with the PBA. He's part of the
Yeah.
technical committee.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch a game live.
Yeah, you should. We're starting on the 27th. We
Yeah.
start the second conference.
Do we get free tickets?
I can get
Yeah,
you. I can get
that can be arranged.
That can be arranged. That can be arranged.
We're not used to sitting anywhere else but courtside.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can do it.
Right
You can
in
do it.
front. Beside
Joey
the
Guanyo.
panelists.
Joey Guanyo will get you tickets.
Yeah.
Joey
That's
Guanyo will get you
great.
tickets. Okay.
Beside the
But Joey,
panelists, ha?
Courtside lang, ha?
Or Ria can get you tickets too. She gets tickets all the time.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ria.
You want to watch
Meralco.
it? Just give me a call.
Diba? Tapos we would like to say hi also kanina. Si Onchi De La Cruz was watching. Jimmy Manansala was watching as well. I don't know sino pa mga former players, but a lot of them have been watching throughout this past hour and a half. And then, so I'll turn it over now. That was X's or O's. We'll go to Sid Ventura. Sid, ikaw naman.
All right. So this segment, first of all, brought to you by Seryoso Chili Garlic. Ayan.
That looks good.
Okay. Yeah. If you like chili, your
Sige,
chili
finish
garlic,
it up na kasi
seriously.
Renith will answer first. He has to
Yeah.
go next. Sige.
Sige, spicy, aromatic, and crispy, seryoso chili garlic is perfect for you. Ito yung chili garlic na seryosong maanghang at kaya kang ipaglaban, di gaya ng ex mo. Seryoso offers different chili garlic variations. Seryoso, medyo seryoso, mushroom, seryoso, and seryoso honey. Gift sets with Tampipi native boxes also available. AEOB fans can enjoy 15% discount exclusive on Shopee. Just use the code big AEOB, all caps, upon checkout. So my seryosong tanong is this: what do you miss the most about being a courtside reporter? So let's start now with Ronith because she has to go.
Gosh, that really is serious. I think I just miss sort of like the friendships that I was able to establish. I think, having been given that opportunity is super special for me. It's something that I would never have done. I'm really grateful to Diana, who let me sort of be in that Southeast Asian Games in '91. Loved my friendships with, Mylene. I didn't know Cathy or Ria, but, Mylene, I thought the time that we had together was also very special. Anthony, Chino especially. Gosh, I miss him. And I was really heartbroken too when I read that message. So, even though I wasn't there for a long time, I thought all of it was very special for me. So, and, would do it again in a heartbeat, right? Or maybe not. Sorry. Sorry. Not after what you guys said about, no.
Better catch a game when you come to Manila.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Do you need to go? Do you need to go?
I do. I am so sorry. Yeah, we have a reservation, so
Okay.
Thanks for staying. Thanks for staying.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
so
you, Ronith.
nice
Thank you.
to have this opportunity. Thank you, you guys, and hope to see you in Manila at some point.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Let us know when you come over.
All right.
I will. Thanks. Okay. Bye.
Bye, Renee.
Bye.
O, sige,
Okay.
tapos.
Okay, Cathy.
So it's me. Okay, the people I worked with, undoubtedly. The business of my career in news prevented me from actually having close relations with them after I left the PBA coverage. And that's one of my regrets, because they have all been so very kind and so very supportive in everything that I did during my stay with Vintage Enterprises. So to me, the people I worked with at Vintage, thank you. My never-ending thanks to everybody for actually teaching me all the things I know about basketball. And I mean, I already told you the story. I didn't know anything much, but they actually made up for all my whatever I was lacking in. Thank you to Vintage, to Bobong Veles, Dr. J. I don't have to enumerate everyone, but really, you know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I miss you all.
Nice. Okay, Mylene?
What was the question again?
What do you miss the most about being a courtside reporter?
Like what Ronith said, it was pretty awesome to have that experience at that age. I was 21 to 23, and to be able to be around those people, have those engagements with those people, those characters, at such a young age, and at a time when there was no social media, walang resibo. Yeah, what a privilege. I mean, I never in a thousand years would have thought that I would end up doing sports broadcasting, but it did happen, and I also got the experience to experience working behind the camera, the production side, the writing side, and all of that experience, everything that I experienced during that time contributed to my skill sets and the experience that I would have later on. So I wouldn't say I miss, but I'm really grateful for the whole PBA experience, for everyone that impacted my life then, whether you're a lesson or a blessing. But it's really, I think now that I'm 54 and looking back, I'm like, wow, I did that when I was 21 to 23. What privilege.
Nice. And Ria?
What I miss about it is being young.
Don't we all?
I started right. Yeah, so I started when I was 19. So that it makes me think that, wow, that was really a while ago. Just to give you perspective, I think I did UAAP in season 60, and my daughter did season 86. So
that's amazing. That's amazing, mother-daughter.
Yeah. I think what I miss about it, especially now that, I haven't been working for the past few months, I kind of just miss working in a team. That's a lot of fun. And like all of you said, it's the friendships that I formed, especially when I was in the NBA. And it's just something really special. And even when I talk to my daughter, she says, when she was doing UAP courtside, you kind of form this sisterhood. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know girls can be catty, and I did experience that as well. But I also formed some amazing friendships, which I still have to this day, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm thankful for all the mentors, and they know who they are. And I don't want to mention them because if I forget, somebody's gonna make tampo. But all of you who have taught me something and really encouraged me and believed in me when I was so raw, that really is so special for a young person.
Right. So that's how long I've known Ria. Because when she started out, I knew her already.
Yeah.
Tagal na. Because her cousins are my good friends. So, yeah. Okay. Yun ba? That's it? That's your serious question? Yun na yun, di ba?
Yes.
Okay, and then just one last. No, we have just one last part here called Hello Porky. That's the greeting Jho Cantada would say to his son, Porky Cantada. So,
Wait, seryoso? Papadala niyo ba kami ng chili garlic oil?
relax
Seryoso.
ka lang, Mylene. Relax ka lang. I will. Relax ka lang.
Sure.
Si Ronith, baka mahirapan tayo. Pero kayong tatlo, walang problema. Okay, this is the batian portion. Cathy, you can greet, say hi, say hello, acknowledge anyone you want right now. Then we'll go down the line.
Okay. Who do I say hi? Hi to all the fans who have been very supportive. Both news fans and basketball fans. Thank you for all the patronage, and thank you for the time that you spent with us in this discussion. Please continue to support and watch this show because it's a good show. Very interesting topics. So I'd like to say hello also again. Hopefully he's watching. Dr. J. Hello, Dr. J. Seb Sormenta. Hello. And Bill Velasco. And to all my previous fans from a long time ago in the 90s, hello there. And I wish to see you one of these days when they invite me over to the opening of the PBA games. I'm going to be waiting for those tickets. And I hope to see everyone there.
Great.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Charlie.
Salamat.
Our pleasure.
Mylene, ikaw naman. Your turn, Mylene. Before
for senator.
Naku, ayaw. Ayaan ko na sa mga tulfo.
Lahat sila. Sige.
Okay. Let's not go there. Yeah, so hello, Sev, my broadcast communications teacher, who's still my friend up to now. Hi. And who else? Hi, Alvin. Hi, Babs. These are the people who are still my friends up to now from the PBA days. Sino pa ba? At hello sa lahat ng mga taga Tuguegarao and Cagayan. I hope you're all recovering na from the typhoons, a string of typhoons that have na tumama dyan sa Cagayan. So wala po akong balak magpolitiko. Hello lang. Hindi ako rehistrado dyan.
That's it? Okay.
Sino pa ba? May gusto kang ipa-hello sa amin na controversial?
Hindi naman, if you want to thank also anyone who helped you in your career, gano'n.
Okay. Yan, si Sev, Bobong's gone. Even Sir Ricky's gone. So Bobong Velez for his patience. I was totally clueless. I really don't know how I lasted there, but they kept me until I left in 2003. 1993. 2003. 1993. Yan. Yan, sila Chino, sila Butch. My God, ang dami nang wala. Kakasad. But thanks to you guys for reviving the interest in what we were doing before. Right. Actually, maraming kwento pero siguro kailangan i-refresh yung memory. Baka kailangan kumain ng tuna galing sa Cuneta Astrodome kung meron pa, di ba? Yeah.
Wala na yata.
Wala na yata
doon.
Noon mga
fishball sa labas yan.
So thank you, Sid. Thank you, Charlie.
Salamat.
Thanks fun, a lot. Being with you guys today. Ria, Cathy, it's great to see you, Ria. Nice meeting you online. If we've never met before, sorry, senior moment. So, yeah. Charlie, my husband knows you from law school,
Actually, my brother told me nga yung asawa ni Mylene, nag-law school yan, sabi ng kuya ko. And yeah, so I know. I was gonna mention that to you also. Anyway. So, kamusta ka mo? I think he was a batch ahead of me.
Yeah, he's somewhere. I think he's having a meeting somewhere.
So Ri, ikaw naman, sinong babatiin mo bago tayo mag-adjourn?
Well, there's so many people who contributed to, my accidentally coming on television. A lot of people think that I met my husband because I was a courtside reporter, but it's actually the other way around. So I guess I should say hi and thank you to Luigi for teaching me basketball, because that's what jump-started my career. But of course, thank you to Mr. Kirol of Silver Star, who gave me a chance. Thank you to Jho Jho, who invited me to audition. And then of course you have Sev, who was my first EP and my first mentor. And as you guys described him, so patient, so loud and boisterous, always bringing so much energy wherever he goes. The Garcia sisters also of Silver Star, who were so supportive, you know, and vintage, you know, Tito Bobong. And I say Tito Bobong because, you know, he was a good friend of my dad. So I remember when I started in vintage, they said, "Ah, tito mo yon?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." So somebody actually told me to my face, "Ah, so may padrino ka pala dito." And I was like, I didn't even know what that meant. I'm like, "What's a padrino?" But you know, I know, and I like to think that I got in there in my own merit. But that was an interesting insight into, you know, like how people think. But you know, so I'm thankful. Tito Bobong was always very, very kind to me, and I'm gonna greet my kids just because they think it's so baduy if I do it. So Theo, to Mikel, to Raki, and to Chabi. Hi, guys.
Well, hi to them as well. Kilala ko yung mga yan.
One greeting. Hi, Spanky. Yan.
People
Also,
were commenting. Sige, Cathy, go.
Yes, because everyone's been thanking the people who made a difference in their lives. I'd like to also say that I'd like to say hello to Mr. Dodi Limcauco of PTV4. He was my first ever boss. And, of course, the late Bobong Veles. These are the two people who really opened doors for me. So I have to mention their names. And Sev, thank you. Ang dami kong racket na nakuha dahil sa'yo. Salamat ha.
Matindi si Sev. Lahat ng Courtside reporter nakatrabaho niya hanggang ngayon.
Sev.
Iba talaga si Sir Sev.
I
hope he's watching or he catches this on tape. Okay, well, galing. Thanks guys for sharing your stories, no? Ang ganda ng mga kwento. I'm sure Bitin we could go on for no? Eksakto. Oh.
Yan. Yun.
Sir Menta, watching.
Hi, Sev.
Diba?
Fun fact, Sev hosted my wedding reception.
Oh, wow.
Oh, diba?
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
You know, remember, Sev, did you also host my wedding reception? But I know you were there during my
The best,
wedding.
si Sir Sev, nakakasama pa rin. So aside from Sir Sev, there's still a lot of other guys who worked with you in Vintage who are still doing the PBA now. Cameramen, mga producers. And so you might know some of them, yung statisticians namin. They're still there, no?
Is Sev still active?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Active?
Yes.
So am I going to see Sev in the opening? Talagang yung tickets, yung tickets namin.
Wala yan. Madali yan. Ayusin natin. Let me know lang about that, okay?
Okay.
Well, that's episode 236 of An Eternity of Basketball. Before we go, we'd like to thank, of course, the Globally Ballin Network for helping us out, Carla and Aaron in the back. We also thank San Miguel Corporation, always supporting our show. Tuminugan Farm, please go there and start your Mindanao adventure. Seryoso Chili Garlic, makakuha kayo yan. Let me know. I'll get in touch with you guys. Thanks for sponsoring our show. Thank you for Archives, the Diaries, and the Bureau for all the pictures and all the info that we share on the show. Birthday greetings from the past week. Sino ba nag-birthday? Si Bebeng Martinez, si Norman Black, Rick Katakutan, Jeff Collins, and Jericho Diniera. Those are our former guests who had their birthdays this past week. And that's it. Episode 236 now in the books. Usapang Courtside reporter. Salamat sa inyo mga kwento at sa mga kwento ninyo at saka yung mga pictures ninyo. The best photos with the hair and the pads and all of that and the orange, coats and everything.
To the ozone hole.
The butas in the middle. Sabi ni Ria. The butas in the middle, di ba? Ganun yun eh.
Yeah.
So, maraming salamat. People are asking for a part 2 with the other.
Part 2, marami na nga. Naka-line up na.
We'll see kung sino kung makuha natin yung ibang mga courtsides later on. But that's it for today. And so we thank all of you for watching on behalf of my partner, Sid Ventura. Ako naman po si Charlie Cuna. That's episode 236 of AEOB. We're gonna name our next guests or tell you what our next episode will be on our Facebook page. Please follow that. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe because there's a typhoon coming allegedly.
Yes, tomorrow.
So we hope, I hope we're all okay after that. So we pray that doesn't happen. Okay, maraming salamat, Cathy. Thank you for staying. Mylene,
Thanks
Ria.
a lot. Thank you.
Mabuhay kayo.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you, Carly.
Bye.
a leader in key sectors so vital to the growth of our nation. Food, beverage, packaging, infrastructure, energy, and power. Proudly Filipino, through our well-loved brands, we carry the flag overseas. Yet we've always held out for ourselves a larger purpose. To use our scale, size, and dynamism to deliver products and services that can unlock and accelerate new opportunities for growth and drive our economy forward. We are committed to contribute to a resilient and globally competitive Philippines, where businesses like San Miguel can use their resources and imagination to expand the economy and ensure that prosperity is widely shared. Today, our focus is on generating investments and projects that will enable our country to achieve its full promise. Malasakit is woven into all that we do, from ensuring that more Filipinos are food secure, have access to reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy, world-class roads, airports, mass transit, stronger communities, and greater economic opportunities. We are helping build the Philippines that can carry our 110 million strong population into a future whose defining challenges of our time will be an energy transition, resource scarcity, and the need for greater inclusiveness. As a company, we have set our sights on building the nation of our dreams by leveraging our expertise, leadership, and reach. As San Miguel, we will do what it takes to build a better future for all Filipinos.